Good morning, everybody. It's been a minute since I've been here. While I was setting up, I was thinking, when was the last time we had a Shango in the morning show? What was going on? I think we had just beaten the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like when I was making the last shows. I can't remember my exact last one, but we had just beaten the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a playoff team. We were feeling kind of good about ourselves. Good morning, good morning. What's up, Christopher Williams? We were feeling good about ourselves for beating a potential playoff team, and it turned out to be a playoff team. Then the next week, we had all like said we should shut this thing down because we need to preserve our draft pick because we're not doing anything. So we took the L versus the Eagles. It was a little uglier than we thought it was going to be. What's up, Cortez? What's up? It was a little bit. It was a little bit harsh of a L than we were expecting taking, but we took the L. And then I went on my vacation and I jumped on Law Nation stream. It was awesome. I got to be you guys for a minute on Law Nation stream. So I jumped on Law Nation stream because I couldn't actually get the game in Bali. But I jumped on Law Nation stream and I watched it like you guys watch it with me. And I think everybody was like rooting for an L with against the Commanders there at the end. It was like, are we winning this game? Are we about to win this game? So we almost messed up a draft pick right there at the end of the season. So at that point, we thought, good morning, True. Good morning, Debbie. I thought that we were in pretty good shape with Mike McCarthy, right? I'm no fan of Mike McCarthy. Don't get me wrong. He's made me lose my mind a little bit too much, a little bit too much. So there's no love lost with Mike McCarthy, but with what he had, with what Mike McCarthy was working with, um, I thought he did a pretty decent job. You know what I'm saying? We knew, the whole fan base knew that coming into the season, that we had pretty much a lot of holes on our football team, and we knew we was us not showing up at training camp told the whole world we don't think we're capable of winning anything this year, and we still pulled out a pretty. I mean, 7 wins. It wasn't 7 wins. 7 wins. That's pretty. That's pretty. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do we do it? 1. But let me get to that truth, Bells. Let me get there. But we were feeling. Oh, I said, okay. We were feeling like, okay, Mike McCarthy. Maybe we can add something. Let's see what we add to this team. And in pure Jerry Jones fashion, like every season for at least since Amari Cooper left, since that season, we have let assets leave our building, which is fine. I'm not crying about any of the assets that's left the building. But the problem comes when we replace those assets. We never go and get assets, or we never have assets waiting for them, as the other ones go away. We never are prepared. We just get rid of the asset and then just, what is that? Rico, let's go. Whoever's next, we just pick them up. Let's go. Brian, let's go. So that is the 100% Dallas Cowboy way. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking that we're gonna do something, and then the negotiations go with McCarthy, and I'm like, this is just fodder for y'all to talk about during, there's no way McCarthy's not going to get hired. And then he doesn't get hired like that. It happened so quickly. Like, whoa, they split. They go different ways. And we even had a little a teaser with Chicago trying to talk to McCarthy. We say, no, you can't talk to McCarthy. So we thought, there's no way McCarthy's not going to go. Scott. And the thing with my videos is incompetent. Good morning, Moises. The problem is, it's like Where is the vision in the past 3 years? It seems like we're not even we it seems like we're just making decisions as they're coming. Because how do you just not know that you don't have you might not want Mike McCarthy and have yourself prepared for that situation? And then you hire from within and give him 4 years? And the amount of years was the problem with McCarthy? This is so confusing that I don't understand. I don't know. I doubt any of you understand it, and I certainly don't understand it. What have we been doing for the past 3 years? What have we been preparing for the past 3 years? Because we haven't been building the Super Bowl team. I can understand the lack of movement because we're strapped because we have the team that, right now that we're spending so much money on that this team has to produce. We don't have that team right now. So what kind of foresight? What are we playing for next year? Whatever. So those are my problems right now. And I tell you to the honest truth, with all the coaches that we were looking at. Of course, I wanted Joe Brady, and Joe Brady coached a game yesterday. I wanted Joe Brady. I wanted to look at Ben Johnson. I wanted all the top candidates out there. I wanted to at least look at them. Nope. We got these guys and that we can look though. So this guy who used to be our tight end and we love so much, but he hadn't coached a day in his life in the NFL. We got this guy over here who we actually fired, who's running a incredible offense in Philadelphia. However, all you have to do is just give that ball to that running back, and everything just gets easy over there on Philadelphia. We can bring that guy back, or there's some other guys that have not been in the fold for a minute, and then we have Shoddy. Now, when I saw all that candidates out there, I was like, shoot, give me Shoddy. That's how if the people in my Madden league will tell you the truth. I was like, from what we had to choose from, which was very slim pickings. From what we had to choose from, I was like, give me Shoddy. Because Dak did well with Shoddy. They have a good rapport. The offense won't change a bit. And then my hope with Schottenheimer is that he comes from his, I want to call it his lineage or his what do you call it? Pedigree of running the football. Because if anybody knows how to run the football, it's Marty Schottenheimer. And I don't think anybody can get in an argument with how to run the football with Marty Schottenheimer. Marty Schottenheimer, you young guys sit down and have a list. We used to have some teams in Cleveland and in Kansas City that were coached by Marty Schottenheimer that would just hammer you. I mean, the run game would just beat you up all game. It was just physical, just defense and run. How did Philadelphia win yesterday? Was it defense and run? Defense and run. So if we somehow can get that formula with our passing game, because we still have a top-notch passing game, we just have no running game. So if we can learn how to run, then maybe this team won't be as bad as we think it's going to be. That's all I got for you. Thank you very much for coming. That's all I got for you. I really do. I can say that we might be as good as we were with McCarthy. Now the big caveat is who's calling plays and are they going to be better at time management than Mike McCarthy? That's the thing. Because with us, I think this machine runs on its own pretty much in Dallas. I think, you can switch out quarterbacks. That's one of my main things. I mean, you can take Tony Romo and take Dak Prescott, and they're two totally different quarterbacks. I mean, you couldn't be more different than those two quarterbacks, but then they end up with similar stats. That means the vehicle in Dallas is run a certain way, and you have to adhere to it. So the way the vehicle is running, it should be near where it was before McCarthy left. It's not going to be just like a drop off just because we got Schottenheimer as coach. That's just not going to happen. But what are we going to add? We got a lot of holes on our team, and we got a lot of opportunities to fill that with good players. Are we going to be able to? That's the stuff. We're going to have a very interesting offseason. Very interesting. And we'll get to judge this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? A week ago, I couldn't talk about this offseason. I'm telling you. A week ago, I was so distraught about what, and had to change my thinking or whatever. But now that we have Schottenheimer, I can internalize my disgust about not going out to find one of the top coaching candidates or whatever, and I can focus back in on where we were at the end of the season, what we did, how we improved, how we can improve on top of that, and then what players we can get in to make this thing actually work. Because I'm telling the Philadelphia Eagles, that's a player roster run franchise. That roster is dang near perfect. The defense, the draft picks are perfect. It's such a top to bottom franchise right now that we have to go against and beat. I mean, even, Washington had the dynamic rookie. They have experienced coaching. They have a decent roster. They had all that kind of stuff and just got blown away. They shouldn't have even been there. That was Detroit's mess up. Detroit should have took care of Washington, to be honest, and that would have been a better game. But Philadelphia and Detroit, talking about golden rosters, those two are the standard of teams that's trying to win in the NFC right now. You have to have those killer rosters. Sorry. You got to have receivers with studs on each side. You got to have a couple running backs, not just one running back, one stud running back. You got to have a couple stud running backs. You got to have a defensive line for sure. You must have an offensive line because Detroit and Philly's got offensive lines. You must have a secondary because Philly was trash last year when they didn't have a secondary. They got those rookies back there, and Cooper DeJean made a great play yesterday. So I mean, it's about all 22, your entire roster, and about putting those players together. So we can see, we'll just have to see what we do. We'll just have to see what we do. It's like I have more faith in the players on the field, in Dak, CD, Micah, Schottenheimer. I have far more invested in them right now, more faith in them right now than I do the front office, because I see no vision with this organization. I don't know where they're going. I don't know what they're trying to do. They're just confusing. Okay, all right, guys. What's up, Garrett? True Fields, what's up? My 14 calls that offense. Oh, yeah. Philadelphia. Ugh. Concerned Dallas tried to ran him out and blamed him for Dax, but no. Concerned, come on, man. Concerned last week in the playoffs, Saquon Barkley lined up on the wrong side, said, "Hey, am I on the right side?" And Jalen said, "Yeah, I'll just give you the ball." And he handed Saquon the ball, and he ran like 70-something yards for a touchdown. No concern. The first play of the game, hand the ball to Saquon Barkley, and he rattles your defense's brain. No concern. No. I'm not going there. You looked up the stats. We were the fourth most penalized team in the league. Those killer rosters can be built just in the draft. Yeah, no, they can't be built just in the draft. Exactly. We're years away from those rosters. We're years away from those rosters. Who said it? Who's being patient? Shango, I'm still JJ. You still being patient with my? Oh, with your mod. Okay, I got you. Oh, I'm back now. I'm back now, and everything's slow. I don't have a game every week to set up for. What's up, Enoch? I blame Dak. He was too lazy to learn a new offense. Says no, it's no. Please, you don't. A new quarterbacks don't learn new offenses at this stage of their career. Please. The Cowboys should have got rid of him. If they were going to get rid of the coach, they should not have signed Dak. That's an organizational problem. Everything you want to blame on Dak or whatever. Dak should not be a Cowboy. Dak should not right now. And then we would have had the latitude and the ability to go get this coach or go get that coach and let him get a quarterback they want and build up from there. If you didn't think you were going to keep your quarterback, I don't know why you could sign your quarterback, because you just give everybody in the world an excuse because of your failures. I hope you guys understand why I get so upset when you go Dak, 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 when the organization has been failing us over and over and over, and you conveniently just blame the quarterback when the organization puts us in horrible situations year after year after year. I mean, good gracious. I mean, you got the best rookie quarterback. I'm scared of Jaden Daniels. One of the best rookie quarterbacks I've seen. That dude got nerves of steel. That dude does not fail. That dude, at the end of football games. Jaden Daniels is nice. He was a zero factor yesterday against that Philadelphia roster. So stop blaming your quarterbacks. That in no way. Josh Allen played pretty much perfectly yesterday. Great game yesterday. Still lost because you need your team to play. You need your team to play. Dak definitely deserves a better organization. Dak does. Micah does. I'm almost ready to say CD deserves a better organization. And that's bad. I'm saying that's a knock on organization. We've been building and rebuilding for 30 years now. But yeah, Don Weedy, this last 3 years, man, the last 3 years, from like I said, I think 3 or 4 years, from the moment that we let the group with Amari Cooper leave, that group, and we didn't replace them. And then the next year came, and when he came, what's up, broke woke joke, thank you very much. And then up until this year, we're just letting people leave and not replacing them. And then they've already told you we don't have money this year. And I don't know why we don't have money this year when we barely have a roster. Those of you guys that play Madden, if half your roster gone, your salary cap looks pretty good. Oh man, if I was GM, Sadiq, Lord have mercy. Actually, I'm going to do that. Actually, that's what I'm going to do, because I've been thinking about the moves that I would make if I was, now that I know who the coach is, now that I know, and I have a hope that we will develop a run game. I accidentally called on my last video before, right before he got hired, I called him Brian Callahan instead of Brian Schottenheimer. That was a slip. But it was not a purposeful slip. It had meaning behind that slip. I'm hoping that what we had with Callahan, the offensive line that we had with Callahan, the run game with DeMarco Murray and Callahan, I'm hoping we can bring something like that back with Schottenheimer, a physical, hard-nosed running game. What do I think about boycotting the Cowboys? I don't know, man. We did it last year, Cortez. It didn't work. And it's going to be hard for me to stay away from training camp this year because we're going to have so many new players. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Last year was easy because I knew exactly what was out there in training camp. We knew. We knew the coaches. We knew the players. It was nothing to check out. But it's going to be hard to keep me out of training camp this year. We didn't let Coop leave. Jerry gave him away for a bag of peanuts. Exactly. No. Yeah, that was the beginning. That was the beginning of all of this right here, Gerald Thompson. And Amari Cooper was playing. I mean, playing great yesterday. Well, yeah, he made a couple of good catches. I remember making a couple of good catches. I don't really Ingrid Thinker Pocket. I don't really play Madden that much anymore. The college football game just took over. I'll play. I'll play you in that though. I hope you have that. Yep, Jalen Daniel did about as much as he could. The Eagles defense, so it's just like concern. It's if we played that game, which we literally played that game last year versus um the Packers, and our defense just was great, and y'all was like Dak. Even if Dak had did what Josh Allen did, it still would have been like, and they did, and I will say they did say this about Josh Allen yesterday, and I was surprised they said it, that because it's hard to say anything bad about Josh Allen, how well he played yesterday, and that last pass really could have been shot. It was a hard pass to catch. It was a hard pass to get. It wasn't like Andrews, but it could have been caught, and it really could have happened for Josh Allen yesterday. However, you got to think about, why did he get the fourth down? When you got you're down by 3 points and you get the ball back with that much time and you're an elite quarterback, that's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a wrap. At least you get 3. But you're trying to get 7 and win this game if you're an elite quarterback. Like if that thing was flipped on the other side and Patrick Mahomes had to get 3 to tie and 7 to win, and he had like a minute and something left to go, it's a wrap for at least a tie. So for them not to do that, that's a little bit of a failure. And I think he acknowledged that himself or whatever. But other than that, you can't take anything away from that quarter. A quarterback is a part of that team, man. A quarterback is a part of that team that all of them got to play well. Meet the new ball, same as the old boss. Philly versus KC. What's up, Spark? I'm rooting for the Chiefs, too, because I literally hate the Eagles. And it's bad. It's bad when the NFL puts us in a situation when we have to root for the Chiefs, isn't it? Mahomes is about to see the best defense. He's about to see all defense. But also concerned, Kansas City's about to see, Philadelphia's about to see a real man in Kansas City's defense. You know what I'm saying? That's a defense. And Kansas City's defense, even though Joe Brady was calling a game yesterday, Joe Brady was balling yesterday. But at the end of that football game, in that last drive, it was on Joe Brady as well. I just called out Josh Allen, Joe Brady as well. He got out-coached. So you got to watch out for Kansas City's defense, because Kansas City, with all their great players and with Mahomes and all that great stuff they have going over Kelsey, they probably have the best offensive mind of all time and the best defensive mind of all time. Let that sink in. Both those two. And you can't say that the players carried them to the Super Bowl, because the plays that were being called, the designs of the wide receiver routes and all that kind of stuff, just ridiculously amazing yesterday. Those passes where Mahomes just went out to the right run and just dumped it to the running back. Didn't they look so simple? They were like, man, he just threw it to the running back and got the first down on a... Those were designs. Those were Andy Reid specials that it looks just simple, but he didn't confuse the defense like crazy. And then on the defense, I think on that final play where Josh almost completed, I think they sent the safety and the corner in on a blitz or something like that. Just confused the heck out of Josh Allen. He didn't know where those people was coming from. Yeah, I think we all were voting for the Chiefs this time around. I mean, I don't see any Cowboy fans pulling for any Eagles team, but especially this Eagles team. But hey, Cooks is bad though. Cooks is a different type runner. Also, Martin Perez, Cooks was running all over the Chiefs. What do you think Barkley gonna do? Martin, how many times did the Chiefs stop Josh Allen's tush push? in short yardage. Come on now. You don't see that at all. No, you don't. You never see anybody stopping Josh Allen, just like you don't see anybody stopping Jalen Hurts. But they did it. They did it to win the game, actually. Andy ain't no best. Oh, come on, fooling. Who's better than Andy Reid? That was an easy one. I thought you got an argument in Spags. But Andy Reid, Hurts is a run-read quarterback. I would say that. We're all in an abusive relationship with Dallas B. Mackerel. I had to take a couple of weeks after that. After the hiring, the firing of Big Mike. The firing of Big Mike was a blow. It was a big blow. And again, the blow was not Big Mike at all. The blow was, what the hell are you doing? What's the plan? We already have we have Eberflus for our defense coordinator, who I don't hate at all. They didn't do it right. No, that's not a real tush push. That's a big quarterback. That's a big quarterback, and nobody really stopped. How many 1-yard touchdowns did Josh Allen have this year? A gazillion. Yeah, all I'm saying is that Chiefs defense knows how to get up for big games, and they know how to shut you down. They do. And that big guy in the middle, he's not to be played with. I thought Eberflus was official. Oh, we're gonna talk draft, true. You know what? I can't say that. Look, Hurts and Josh Allen basically do the same things. Josh is more of a physical monster or whatever. But I can't discredit Hurts because Hurts is a gamer. Hurts is as tough as nails. Hurts is smart as I don't know what. There's lots of things that Hurts does well. So I don't want to discredit those things just because we can see the physical differences in Josh Allen so we can say the difference. But both of them, they play extremely smart football instead of risky stat loading football. Josh Allen the last two games with Buffalo and Kansas City, Baltimore and Kansas City. Josh Allen took the easy things. He took the underneaths and then he hit you. He would take this stuff and then he hit you. And that's just brilliant football. Why would you risk throwing the ball in the spots, just because the play called for it or whatever? Why would you risk that when you got little easy stuff right here and you got Shakir that can take a little pass that way and you got these running backs that all can take a little pass all to it? And they did. They took little passes all the way to the end zone. Why would you risk, throwing it down the field into the teeth of the defense? But shoot, yesterday he was doing that thing too. And Hurts made some great passes too yesterday. Both of them, Hurts and Josh Allen, both made good passes yesterday. Hurts gets the job done. So I can't not talk down. I can't talk down Hurts because Hurts is playing a style of football that is. He's been in the Super Bowl twice, y'all. I mean, come on. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. I mean, one time you could just say it was luck or whatever. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. So both his teams carried him. It's hard. It's a hard call. Saquon is definitely what makes the Eagles go, Jim Hunter. 100%. But to be able to use that and win off of that, like Lamar didn't get it done with Henry. You know what I'm saying? Papatella goes straight in. Shango. Do you take Genty first round? Yes, I do. At this point with Schottenheimer, I take Genty. Just because of what that's why I said I had to know who our coach is before I could think about the draft. Do y'all remember Christian Okoye? It's just like Barry Word. It's I mean all the running backs that Schottenheimer had were big, thick, strong hammers, and that's what I see Genty as, like a hammer, big old hammer, and just punch your defense like that. And if we have him punching your defense, and Dak is basically a bus driver with play action, Dak could be perfect. Dak would be perfect. The time that Dak's not perfect is on 3rd and 3, and we got to force the ball into some spots that's not open. Interception. Same with Lamar. Lamar, hey, I can't say anything about the end of the game with Lamar because Lamar did everything right at the end of the game. But in the first half, Lamar made those mistakes. You know what I'm saying? And it's like the fumble was a big mistake. The fumble, and they picked that ball up. Von Miller picked the ball up for Lamar. That was a big mistake. I think they win the game without that mistake. You know what? And say Dak is injury prone nowadays. I don't care. Good stuff. I don't care. If I'm not hearing that Dak Prescott is going to run the football this year, I don't want to hear anything. We're not going to win. You're not going to win in the NFL if your quarterback is not running. You're not going to win in the NFL if your quarterback is not running. If you watch those games yesterday, every single quarterback was a runner. Even Patrick Mahomes made a crazy run for a touchdown. So every last one of them guys were running. And you're not going to get to that game without a quarterback that can run on 3rd down. If you could, even Stafford has the best arm out of all of them. Goff got his great arm or whatever. They are not runners. So it makes it so hard for them on 3rd and short or whatever. 3rd and 3 for Josh Allen is like, is anybody open? Anybody open? I'll run for 6. First down. Same with Hurts. Is anybody open? Anybody open? Run for 5. First down. If that play is so easy. So, and Dak can do that. And last year, Dak got hurt. Dak got hurt on a passing play. Dak got hurt because he was contorting his body the wrong way, trying to get away from pressure, and tore the ligament off his leg throwing the ball. So if you're going to do that while throwing the ball, then you got to run. You got to run. You can't be scared to run. Dak's a big boy. Dak takes care of his body like Ken Henry. He's got to run, man. It's just, yeah, and we got to draft it. We got to have a backup run, a quarterback that runs as well. It's got to be in our offense. Period. Draft Miro. You got to be able to run the quarterback. If you look at college football, all of them, Dylan Gabriel, every last one of them. In the national championship, the dude from Notre Dame almost died. He ran so much in that first. From here on out, moving forward, the quarterback is another running back with a golden arm. That's what he is. Yeah, Mahomes hit your 40-plus rush yards on this part. Mahomes' touchdown was just nice. I'm like, why can't y'all tackle this dude? He has a dad bod. Why can't you tackle Mahomes? I understand why you can't tackle Jalen Hurts. His legs are like tree trunks. I understand why you can't tackle Josh Allen. He's a giant. I understand why you can't tackle Jaden Daniels because he's slippery and fast and all that kind of stuff. But Mahomes, why you can't tackle Mahomes? Yeah, I guess I don't think anybody missed Dan Quinn after yesterday, Jake Recruiter. Everybody remember like, oh, yeah, that was Dan Quinn. We'll get run all over. Oh yeah, they're probably really little in that defense over there in Washington. Yeah, you have to run those RPOs and skills, and you just got to think it. We got 3 more years with Dak, 3 more years with Dak, and then we'll move on unless he wins a Super Bowl or something. But in these 3 years, you can't preserve him for what? For his next team or whatnot? Let him run. And plus, that was the best version of Dak. By the way, if anybody remembers, if anybody want to go look back at Mississippi State Dak Prescott, that was the best version of Dak Prescott, the one that would actually run. So I'm not just telling you to make somebody who can't run. His game was run. He will be in shape to run. I mean, age, I know people say he's old. Age don't mean nothing to the modern day athlete anymore. As long as you're in shape. Age matters. Age matters to people like Ezekiel Elliott that came in with a belly every year. Have you ever seen a fat Dak Prescott? You have to be able to run that quarterback. And it helps your running game too. Again, I'll go back to Lamar and Henry in that the wild card game. Lamar went this way, and he took 3 guys because 3 guys were scared Lamar was going to take off that way and run it. And when he went this way, the ball didn't go to Lamar and went to direct snap to Henry. And Henry had it he just went straight down the field. Nobody touched him. And I was like, that's the NFL right now. Buffalo is doing that like crazy with those running backs and Josh Allen. That's what Philadelphia is doing with Saquon and thing. You have to, not only do you have to have that A+ running back, you have to trick the defense as well, and you have to block. There's a lot going on in these running games. They're not just going into I formation and going on and doing a 41 isolation and running down the middle of the football field. They're not doing that anymore. They're tricking the defense. They're keeping the defense off boundary. They don't know who's going to have the ball, the quarterback or the running back. All that stuff is a necessity in the modern day NFL. A necessity. When you get to the playoffs. I need a ball? No. No, and no. I don't want. I need a ball. I don't want any more billionaires in my life owning anything. I'm so done with billionaires right now. The only person I want to buy the Cowboys is the people. Okay, the people. I don't want a billionaire buy nothing. We never really pushed Dak to his limits down. The ankle injury hurt him on the foot. If that's the case, then I don't know, Jared. I think he can still run. I really do. I think him not running is a Jerry Jones thing, and we're just saying that maybe his ankle's hurt or whatever. But players hurt themselves all the time. Non-quarterbacks hurt themselves all the time. Ankles, legs, all kind of stuff, and they come back and they can still do what they do. Do I think Zeke will be playing next year? No, Zeke is fat right now. I think Zeke is done. How many of those CD runs can replaced by RPO? Vic Fangio versus Andy. Yep. Yeah, sad stat. I saw that earlier, B Macro. B Macro says sad stat. Dallas had 3 total rush TDs in 2024. Eagles had 7 yesterday. The GM needs to speak on that when to talk about it. Exactly. Because the GM was talking about how he's better than anybody else. The GM said nobody could do a job in Dallas better than what he's done. Jerry Jones actually said that. When you are the one team that has not been to the conference championship in 29 years, you're going to actually make your mouth to say nobody can do a better job than you. When the entire organization told you you don't have a running back, and you say we like who we have, and then you go through the entire season without getting another running back and end up with 3 total rushing touchdowns in 2024, and your number one competition has 7 in a game, and you wonder why they're playing in the Super Bowl and you're not even close. I'm telling you, man. Thoughts on the press conference today? No. It's starting right now, is it? It's about to start in a little bit, isn't it? What's happening? Is it? It's almost time to get off. Yeah, Playmaker's a little personal on that good stuff. Playmaker wanted his buddy, Dion. You know, I didn't want Dion. I wouldn't have got mad with Dion. And the only reason why I wouldn't have got mad with Dion is because it would have been fun with Dion. I wouldn't expect any victories because with anybody other, I think I said this at the beginning of the video, with anybody other than Schottenheimer. Well, it in my mind, it had to be either Schottenheimer or Kellen Moore. And I wasn't taking another stint of Kellen Moore. Have fun in Philadelphia. And congratulations on all your success. I wasn't doing it Kellen Moore again. So Schottenheimer was the one dude that could keep us with Dak. Now, if we did not sign Dak Prescott in this moment, just imagine if we didn't sign Dak Prescott and we, let him sit out the season or whatever, did something, whatever, to lose these games this season or whatever, and got rid of McCarthy because we would know we wasn't going to have McCarthy, have a real lame duck coach there that's just trying to coach for his job or whatever, we would have had a season here where we could have picked a new coach or had a coach last year. Could have had Quinn. I don't want to pick Quinn, but we could have had a different coach last year, and then that coach could have his pick of the quarterbacks in this draft, or work toward the quarterbacks in that, because I don't like the quarterbacks in this draft, just like Cam. I don't like Shador that much. Maybe get ready for the quarterbacks in that draft. That's a plan. I can get behind a plan, even as a 2-3 year plan. I can get behind a plan. But what we've been doing in Dallas is we're just letting people leave and replacing them with no one, and still saying we don't have any money to get anybody. And I don't understand how a team like Philadelphia, drafts. They've been drafting brilliantly. And Cowboy fans are getting mad at me because I give them so much credit every draft that they draft well or whatnot. And some of the draft picks fall apart, but a lot of them, like last year, that was just over the top good. But we draft good, but we don't get as many picks as they do. You know what I'm saying? So we might draft almost as well as them, but they get more quantity of good players through that draft. And then they're not ashamed. Like Saquon Barkley was available last year too. Everybody talking about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry wanted to be a Cowboy, but Saquon Barkley was available too. I think people forget that. He was out there. So it is what it is, man. Jerry's narcissism is the biggest front office issue. Yep. No, he didn't. It's Steven has the tight pockets, M-Skill. It's not Jerry. But his narcissism, him thinking that he knows better than everybody, and he'll talk down to us. And that's why I can say that even, if we get the right players and do everything, Schottenheimer has, a great running scheme and all this kind of stuff, I just don't believe in our front office. I really don't. I believe they'll mess us up somehow. A bitter Cowboy fan saying the Eagles carry Hurts. I can't. Look, man. You can't say when he gets there to the Super Bowl twice. You can't say that was luck. So I'm going to hate to see Hurts in the Super Bowl and Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, but you can't say anything bad about him. You have to give him his flowers just like you would give anybody else. Jerry Jones is not a head coach. Yeah. But when was Jerry not the head coach? Was McCarthy the head coach? Good stuff. That's why I said I don't think anything's going to change that much. because I don't think McCarthy was a commanding personality somewhat or whatever, and he had his little playbook or whatnot. But Jerry was in complete control of that locker room, and he still is. Thank you, Hershey. Worst Super Bowl repeat matchup. It's just like Gifford. It's like we had to endure Patriots. Yay, the Patriots are done. Chiefs. It's so annoying. Who is worse, Steven or Jerry? I think Steven's worse, Poppy, because at least when we had Jerry and he was running things, he would go get players. You know what I'm saying? He would make mistakes, but at least you saw the energy of trying with Jerry. With Steven, it's just like we're broke. We can't do it. Oh, everybody give it Hall. Giffon Hall. Everybody's going with the Chiefs. Dak was the problem. It's so funny. People still holding on to the Dak was the problem narrative when they've seen the whole team fall apart and Dak wasn't anywhere involved. He was up there in the rafters. Theoretically, the team was supposed to get better if that was the problem, right? Giffon? As soon as Dak goes out, everything's supposed to turn to roses. Oh no, y'all deserve it, man. Look, man, that Eagles roster is perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I didn't trust Buffalo to get the job versus Eagles. And King James, I fell off of Buffalo versus Baltimore. I did. Josh Allen played wonderfully. They did everything they could, and they played very smart to win the football game. However, I don't think anybody came away from that football game thinking Buffalo was better than Baltimore. I think everybody knew Baltimore messed up their chances to win versus Buffalo. So that kind of made me come off of Buffalo a little bit to get to where you are. To where I trust the Chiefs against the Eagles more than I trust Buffalo. Yeah, Dak has never had a team, guy, Eric. Dak has never had a team. Sometimes it don't happen. Some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time didn't get there. That don't mean they're no good. Dan Marino doesn't mean he was trash just because he didn't get to the championship. That's team things when they get down there. Peyton Manning didn't get there till late in his career. Doesn't mean Peyton Manning was trash. Peyton Manning is thought of as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Didn't get there till late in his career because it's a team thing when you get down to the playoffs. It's a 22. You see what I'm saying about the Eagles? Eagles are a team. Where are the Eagles weak at? Tell me. They're not. It feels forced now. It does. He ain't had anything to do with anything. And if you're gonna just start, and not only that, the Jaden Daniels has two been to Jaden Daniels has already been to a conference championship and Dak hasn't. Well, Jaden Daniels has been to a conference championship and literally every Dallas Cowboy player in the last 29 years hasn't. But they want to use that narrative for just one of them. Just the one. Yeah. That was the last good season we had. That was the last good chance we had, and that's what everybody says, Eric. When we say Dak don't have everybody, we go back. But what about that one year? The Eagles have a roster every year, Eric Stewart. The Eagles have a top 1, 2, 3 roster every single year. Our roster this year had to be like in the 20s. We had to have one of the worst rosters this season. So how are you going to say, oh, the quarterback, when he's literally with one of the worst rosters? You know how good that quarterback has got to be. And I already told you how we play offense, by throwing the football in all situations. You think a quarterback is going to be successful when he's throwing the ball 45 and 50 times a game? Go look at the stats. Go look at the stat sheets from yesterday. Especially go look at Buffalo's. Go look at Buffalo's stat sheet. Go look at Philadelphia's stat sheet. I think Hurts threw like maybe 20 something times, 22 times, maybe 18 to 22 times. Barely threw the ball. Somebody look that up. Hold on. No, I'm just no. Let's. Philadelphia Eagles. Overview. Player stats. Yeah, 20 or 28. And he threw a lot yesterday. What was the game? What's the game before that? Philadelphia Eagles played. Hold on. Who did they play before? Packers? Player stats. Eagles. 13 of 21. You know what I'm saying? That's an offense. Because you're running the ball, you're doing play action, doing all other kind of stuff. You're not just with no receivers, with one receiver. No, let me say, that's what the Cowboys do. We throw the ball all around to one receiver. How do we steal? Exactly. That's what we need to think. How do we steal someone like Howie Roseman? How can in this season of AI, can we build an AI version of Howie Roseman? You see how forward thinking I am? You see that? We can create one. Rick says, what bothers me is the young guys that hate the Cowboys. If it doesn't change, the American team will be a joke for 15 years. We're 29 years without any real success, like late season success. And we don't even know how. We don't even know how we would react. We say it every NFC Championship game, like, wow, I don't know how I could take the pressure if I was ever in the NFC Championship game again. The King of the Hill reboot, they trashed Jerry. They could. No, I'm saying when he got there, if that was Dak, Eric, you would have said Dak is trash because he got beat 55 to something. That's what I'm trying to say about you guys. There's some situations like last year in the playoffs Dak would have had to score on every single possession. That's not sustainable. And if you don't do that, you're trash. You need your team. You need your team to stop the other team, at least sometimes. We didn't stop Green Bay at all, I think 2 times last year. So you expect the quarterback to outduel that, or he's trash. That's what I'm saying. We don't expect Jaden Daniels to outdo Philadelphia in that roster, because Washington has work to do if they're going to beat that roster. And so do we. We got more work to do. There we go. Baby Mac. Smoke screen the lamb. Bubble scream the lamb. Tonal screen the lamb. Slam the lamb. Quick out the lamb. Stop route the lamb. Deep the lamb. Deep route. And you see, there's no deep the lamb. B Mac was very smart there. He didn't put any deep non-route to lamb, because that's not even in our playbook right now. And you see that again. That's another thing with Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. They don't pass the ball nearly as much as Dak Prescott. But I tell you where they do go deep. They go deep to keep those safeties back, to keep the running back free. If we throw the ball, we're throwing in little windows right there, little tight little windows within 10 yards. Oh, the cap is definitely a myth. Dak has always put in work. Yeah, I saw that B macro word on the street. Bones Fossil is trying to get Poach Aubrey. He said, I'm gonna trade for you. Well, I don't know, man. Is Aubrey still okay? That's the question. Is Aubrey okay? Guys, I went 15 minutes overtime. I gotta go. I hear my wife out there doing stuff. I gotta go help her. Is Shador here right now? So, yeah, Shador. I'm not. We'll talk about Shador later when we go into draft stuff. But I'm not a big Shador fan. I'm not. Cam, kinda. I'm not a fan of quarterbacks in this draft. Not really. All right, guys. Let me go help my family. They're out there, and I'll be here all week. I said that like a comic. I'll be here all week.